In my mind, there's one choice for roofing around here, and I'd go with your best choice. Whether it's time to replace your roof or repair it, Best Choice Roofing provides top-notch roofing services tailored to meet the unique needs of Detroit homes and businesses. They serve the region and inside the city of Detroit, too. You can find out more at bestchoiceroofing.com/Detroit. That's bestchoiceroofing.com/Detroit, or call 313-474-7031. That's 313-474-7031. Hello, everyone, and welcome to your Daily Detroit. We have made it to Friday, March 21st, 2025. I am Jer Stays, coming to you from our studio at beautiful Tech Town in the Paris of the Midwest, Detroit. Joining me, as he does every Friday, none other than Man About Town, Mr. Friday, Devon O'Reilly. So good to see you.
You too, Jer. Happy spring. We did it. We made it through a Michigan winter.
It was almost 70 degrees yesterday, as I remember, and my dog was very excited, and I went ahead and blocked out time to go hang out with her.
I wasn't home. We'll get to why I wasn't home all day, but in the evening, I made some time to play with my daughter outside because I told her I would, and we got to play outside in the warm weather, so it was nice. Jer, I had some serious FOMO yesterday because I was not in Dearborn, but you were Dearborning it up yesterday and got to go to some of my favorite places and have yourself a little Dearborn day. So I want to hear about your time in Dearborn.
You know, I have to admit, it was fun taunting you on the member-only Discord.
I could taste that corn when you sent me those pictures because you went to some places we've talked about on the show, and you went to a place that I have been anticipating for over a year now.
Yeah, and we're going to have a full episode on it because I had some great conversations with both of these places that are worth breaking out a bit more. But I started out the day at the Henry Ford.
Fine place.
Yes.
One of the best.
They are rebuilding the Jackson House that they brought up from down south. I had a fascinating conversation with the people involved with that. And I cannot wait to share it with you because of the history and all the details and how this all came together. I am a big history nerd. And honestly, like if I could just ensconce myself in like the Henry Ford and Greenfield Village, I would just like spend a whole days there if I could.
You should have gone to high school there like I did.
Or my dad did.
Oh, there you
That's
go.
a funny little, a funny little coincidence.
I was ensconced.
That your graduation pictures and my dad's graduation pictures from the 50s are in the same place.
Yeah, some 50 years apart.
Right. But looking forward to that. It's a very cool story. Then I went, okay, you didn't tell me how ridiculous Corn on the Corner was.
Dearborn is just a culinary cornucopia. Corn on the Corner is wild. I mean, you can't just have a place called Corn on the Corner and not have it like vibey with corn, right?
But I didn't realize like the almost street art style, the bright colors. I didn't know that there's sandwiches, there's burgers, there's a little bit of everything. The portion, this thing that I had that had like chicken and corn and Qdoba sauce and fries, it was bigger than my head.
It's a lot of food. You get a good serving. So I want to hear what you got. So you got the chicken kind of.
I think it's like the Qdoba or something like that.
Yeah.
Bowl. Oh, I don't think it's necessarily called the Qdoba bowl.
Their menu's huge. They have everything from burgers to wraps to chicken tenders to just plates of corn.
I thought that somewhere in there would just be like a row of ears of corn. You know, like you just go through it.
Yeah, just shuck it yourself.
Yeah, I didn't know what I was expecting. I listened to you. I heard you talk about it, and I still wasn't ready.
Well, welcome to Dearborn, buddy. You could have tossed an ear of corn over to my house from how close you were.
I have to know, and none of this. When I say ridiculous, I'm not saying it's bad, but you didn't tell me about the bathroom.
I don't think I've ever been to the bathroom there. I would carry out. So actually, this is breaking news to me. I didn't know.
I have not been in a bathroom that is almost all gray and black, like a club, with LED strip lights of different colors.
Wow.
And the phrase on the ceiling, here for a good time, not a long time. I swear I was in a club from the early 2000s. Like some basement somewhere that I shouldn't have been. I mean, it was clean. It was fine. It was good.
Yeah.
But I walked in and I'm like, what is with this?
You know what strikes me as more fascinating is the fact that they spent so much time and effort in the bathroom. I mean, you were there, right? It's clearly more of a carryout place. Like it's designed to be more of like, take your stuff, leave. Like who was using the bathroom at Corn on the Corner?
I feel like this bathroom is a personal project.
Yeah, right?
Right, like somebody said, I really want to be like an LED boy and just light everything up like some sort of gaming setup.
Maybe it's a secret mini club.
Oh.
Maybe I need to look into this.
I also visited the Dearborn Inn.
Oh, this is the one I'm really jealous of because I haven't been there in so long, and they have been undergoing. When we've talked about it, I've talked about it on the show. They've been undergoing this just incredible transformation. I've seen pictures and seen renderings. Now, as of yesterday, I was trying to follow along with everything, but it looked just amazing.
I'm not going to tip all my cards, other than one. Oh my gosh, they've done a great job. It is not. How do I say this? It is historical, but not historically accurate, and that's a good thing.
Yes. I mean, certainly the bones are historically accurate. The structure of the hotel, it was one of the first airport hotels. I think we talked about it. So just to refresh people, the reason where it sits where it is there was an airport where the Ford Proving Grounds is now. And so you could fly right in and go to the hotel there. It's seen extremely distinguished guests from President Reagan to Lassie the dog. I saw that in the press release. So I was wondering what Lassie figured into this, but how she stayed at the hotel.
There are so many acres to this thing. I understand why the dog would enjoy it.
Yeah.
They did a great job with the details, keeping the details and then enhancing them. The lobby was stunning. The restaurant, the bar.
Yeah. Talk to me about food and bev.
Yeah. Cause there will be a full conversation on the podcast later, and you'll be able to hear that conversation first if you are a member on our Patreon, patreon.com/dailydetroit. But the bar, 4 vagabonds, named after Henry Ford and his 4 friends that would go on camping trips, including Harvey Firestone, Thomas Edison, and another guy that I can't remember.
Burroughs, right?
Oh, was it?
Was it Burroughs?
Yes, Burroughs. Yes, Burroughs, which is funny enough because we are at the studio. The Burroughs headquarters was like all over these blocks, spread across these blocks.
So yeah, I 4 Vagabond. I love the name. I've heard the story before. Obviously, look, come on, I'm an amateur Dearborn historian here, so I'm aware of this group of folks. All I'm aiming to do is I think I'm going to be the 5th vagabond in short order at that place. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to be haunting it like the ghost of Henry himself.
The bar itself is the most stunning piece. When you see this wood, it's in a U shape. I really like curved bars because they really encourage conversation.
Absolutely.
The straight rail is fine in certain situations, but bars that encourage you to actually talk to each other, even if you're just coming with your date, that you face each other just a little bit.
Could not agree more.
It makes it so much better. The style... So as you know, this place was built in the 1930s. They really embraced some of that style, really of that Art Deco, Art Moderne,
which is a very trendy decorative palette right now. Let's say.
So there's a beautiful wood bar with lighting. There's this beautiful, it's not brass, but some sort of patina in the back, and then another wood top over it, and then this artistic propeller that is in the middle that hangs up. It is so classy. It is very nice, and I look forward to when I can meet you up there for a cocktail.
It will be soon. It will be soon, Jer.
There's there's a private room that has a whole mural of them camping that was hand done. The details, like in every single bit. I'm going to say something that I didn't say in the conversation.
Okay.
With them, because this is my personal opinion, and I didn't want to put them on the spot.
Okay.
I wish Mackinac Island's hotels were as nice as this. This is what the Grand should be.
They definitely take a different approach at Mackinac. They're more about like complete, deference to what it looked like, whereas this is a little more bringing an old relic into modern.
I'm okay with some deference, but I'm not okay with creepy children staring at me in the bedroom.
But I mean, I guess that's the charm of Mackinac. Mackinac for Mackinac. This is for us.
Yes.
And I do appreciate, I just want to throw this out there because you learn something new every day. And I feel like listeners listen to learn something new every day. When you spoke to the 4 vagabonds and Henry Ford, I don't think people realize what a kind of naturalist he was. He was very much into environmental conservation. He was very much into camping. He really wanted to push a camping movement with his Model T. And I found out recently that actually Kingsford Charcoal was founded essentially by Henry Ford. Like the charcoal industry was started by Henry Ford as a way to kind of get people getting out into nature with their cars. And he basically helped found Kingsford Charcoal and then never saw it actually become popular. It's fascinating.
You went to our state capitol.
I did. That's where I was yesterday. So it wasn't like I could just have popped in. I was up in Lansing with our Leadership Detroit troop. We got to meet with legislators. We talked to Republicans. We talked to Democrats. We saw them discuss votes on the floor. We actually were there when this Republican-funded gas bill proposal came through, changing the gas tax. So we got to see some legislature in action, which is really cool. And tour the Capitol. Just amazing. You talk about historic restoration and preservation. They have done an incredible job. It's a public space, obviously. This is for the people. So you could go there. I mean, I know people aren't necessarily just going to take a trip to Lansing for the Capitol, but honestly, if it's not that much trouble for you, it's so cool. They do tours all the time. They have a new, beautiful kind of tour entrance space. I would highly, highly recommend going to check it out. It's like going to a museum.
We have one of the most beautiful Capitol buildings in the country.
We do, yes. They mentioned that it was built after, in the same style as the U.S. Capitol. It's just incredible.
And you were up there for a reason.
Yeah. For the Leadership Detroit group, getting them to learn more about politics, how the sausage is made, as they say. And the legislators we spoke to were really candid. We had great conversations with them. The truth is probably, Jer, as you know, that behind the bluster that you may see on TV and social media, most of these people kind of just get along. For better or worse, they kind of just get along.
It is amazing to me how much of this is a production. I'm not trying to slam anybody, but I was listening to Jon Stewart this morning, and this idea that there's so much that's like theater with it. And I really think that I'm very torn on this, because there's part of me that's like, has social media really hurt this a lot?
Yes.
And really pushed us to the edges?
Yes.
As opposed to I think politics is supposed to be boring to be more effective, but that is my own world.
We those days, Jer, are so far gone. You can kiss them goodbye. I mean, it's just all performative image. That's it. Sound bites, clicks. That's all it's about. It's
whatever
sad,
you can get in 15 seconds. Mm-hmm. The thing is about that in that world, it means that any kind of complex or thoughtful idea, if it takes longer than 15 seconds, I'm all about being short and being to the point, but it takes more than 15 seconds or 30 seconds.
The skill of a politician nowadays is more so about, can you distill, or can you take a complicated issue and distill it down to 15 to 30 seconds? Because if you can't, I don't think you're going to be an effective politician. You have to be able to do that, dumb it down for people, give them something really quick and understanding. And then that's kind of the modern politician is going to have to be good at that more than just about anything.
For people who don't know, what is Leadership Detroit?
Leadership Detroit is the premier leadership development program in the state. Obviously, it's the biggest because it's Detroit. It's one of the biggest in the country, actually. It's been going on for 45 years now. We're in the class 45. So it's business executives, nonprofit leaders, civic leaders. You apply, you're nominated. You go through a 9-month process. Each session, each month, it's about something different. Everything from race and diversity, economic development, talent, local government. And so it's a really kind of way to go through this process, really build your network, make connections, and then come out the other end with 65 new friends and a deep understanding of all the issues that are affecting the region.
And this is something that you, through your day job, kind of head up.
I run this, and applications are open. So it's actually timely that you teed me up for that, because applications are currently open. DetroitChamber.com/Leadership Detroit.
Now, you noticed a closure on the way in.
I did. I was really, I was trying to find a new, where I've been place, as I always do. And I've been to Haraz Coffee in Dearborn many times. I thought I had heard, whatever, that there was one in Midtown. You had also mentioned that there was. I couldn't quite locate it mentally, so I was going to look it up on Google to figure out where to drive to, and it said permanently closed. And so I didn't actually have the time to go drive there, but I take Google for its word, and it seems like it's permanently closed.
I checked a few other sources. They say the same thing.
Interesting.
Yeah, John R. and Garfield, right across from the medical center there. I heard that it opened, but it feels like there's been a wave of businesses. I've seen a wave of closures, actually, on social media. I feel like you're going to have to really, you're talking this about politicians. I feel like this is true about restaurants.
Yeah.
You got to make some noise nowadays.
Yeah, you have to do something different unless you're okay being a neighborhood, unless you service the direct neighborhood, and that's fine because people just know about you. But if you want to get people to come to your place, you got to do something outside of the box. There's no way around it. Now, Haraz, it does look like they have building wraps on a building in Corktown, so maybe they're going to just open that as their Detroit outpost. So maybe there is future for Haraz in Detroit. But I think there's nothing wrong with having an approach of just opening a bunch of stuff or trying to open a bunch of new restaurants and seeing what sticks. It seems like what we're dealing with right now, but that also means that we have to be prepared for like half of them at least to not make it. And that's just going to be the way of the world for a while.
All right. Well, with that, I'm Jer Stays.
I'm Devon O'Reilly.
Remember to leave 5 stars on your favorite podcast app and tell a friend about the show. Thank you so much for listening. Remember that you are somebody, and we'll see you around Detroit.